The Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.
With all the controversy, the Nevada Wolfpack, they bring in Ken Wilson, first year coaching, first year at the school. He's 0-0. His offensive coordinator is Derek Sage. Defensive coordinator, he has a co-coordinator, Kwame, I can't say the last name, Ageman and Mike Bethia. So he has co-defensive coordinators, and he's a defensive guy. So this is his first year over here at Nevada. Last year, Nevada was 8-5, 5-3 in conference, 35 points a game, 77 on the ground, 347 in the air. I think that's something we'll see totally different in the Nevada team under Wilson. The defensive side of the ball, they allowed 26 points a game, 186 on the ground, 220 in the air. I think we'll see a change immediately in that area because this guy is a defensive guy and great teams are built off of defense. So technically, Nevada actually had a good season in 2021. Despite Norvell leaving, Ken Wilson steps in. I don't know what to say much about first-year coaches. Maybe I should have put this guy on the coach review list so I could learn a little bit more about who Ken Wilson is as a coach. You got any background on Ken Wilson, Big Ragu?
No, just other than he was up at the up at Oregon, more or less, defensive guy up there. Not a whole lot. I don't have a lot on him. Just basically, not a whole lot on Ken Wilson. Actually, I know they were dead last in the rush, 129th or 130th rushing category. So they're gonna have to. They got a lot of areas to improve upon. with the departure of Carson Strong and Norvell, it's rebuild time for these guys, for sure. But not
I think too. But I think Ken Wilson. I mean, and we can it just happened right here on the show, right? The element of surprise is definitely in the play. We don't really know much about what this guy's going to do on offense. Obviously, Norvell has some talent, even though he took some of them with it. He left some offensive talent behind, scoring 300.
What do they have offensively returning?
Well, they got with the quarterback, they don't, of course, Carson Strong is gone, but they got the backup, Nate Cox. He's battling it out with Oklahoma State transfer Shane Illingworth. And Illingworth's a pretty good quarterback that was over there at Oklahoma State.
Right.
Got in, he got a little run in last year too. So that I say he has a proven quarterback on the offensive side of the ball. At running back, the top two rushers, Toa and Devontae Lee, they'll be coming back along with a couple other people with depth, so they should be stable at running back. But me personally, I mean, Tua and Lee are both like straight ahead power runners. And I guess in Norvell's system, the run just wasn't a priority. So I don't see them as magnificent players because they haven't been put in the light to do that. But being that they both stay with the new coach, maybe there's a running attack, coming for us, and that's why they're staying behind. But we'll only know once the season start. At receiver, this unit was hit the hardest with the players that Norvell took. I think he took like 4 receivers with him over there too. I think it's 3 or somewhere up in there, but the biggest area he took players from to go to Colorado State was receiver. At offensive line, he was hit real hard. They only returned 1 starter. They looked to all new trap talent and transfers to make up for offense that rushed for only 77 yards per game and gave up 44 sacks. So I wouldn't say the offensive line was the best. So a fresh new start over could be a good thing. We don't know. But like I said, the element of surprise will be the biggest thing with this team. And if Utah State and Blake Anderson can come over and do it, who said that this guy can't, especially him being rooted in defense. So,
like you said, the rushing game was non-existent for this for this team. You know what I mean? So a lot of unanswered questions. Whatever's left behind, he's going to have to definitely pick up the pieces. I know defensively wise, they were like right towards the middle, on the scoring side, giving up like 26 points per game. passing wise, they had pretty good pass defense, but they had a hard time stopping the run. So the run's their key thing for them, stopping it and developing it. And like you said, with Illman coming over from Oklahoma State, good quarterback. So that's a good building block for him. So it's definitely a rebuild all the way around. And the bottom three teams in this side of the conference, it's going to be rough going.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. And on the defensive side of the ball, where Ken Wilson is supposed to excel, he doesn't get much back on the defensive line. He lost his top 4 tacklers at linebacker. The defensive back is the only area where he returns a little bit of depth, and that group is the same group that only allowed 220 yards last year on the grounds. I mean, in the air. So that could be significant to putting things back in perspective. But like I said, we only can see once the season starts. But I wanted to look for one particular thing before we jump out of here. I want to make sure I got it down. The most exciting game that Nevada will play is going to be on October 8th versus Colorado State and their old coach. Yeah. I am so anticipating watching that game right there because, so much dirt was thrown.
At home too, right?
Yeah. So much dirt was thrown between Jay Norvell and Nevada and, the decisions that they made and how Colorado State fits in the whole picture. That's just going to be an interesting game to watch. So y'all stay looking out for October 8th when Nevada takes on Colorado State with the coaching change.
Well, here's the good thing about their schedule. They got to play New Mexico State on the road, right? And then they play Texas State and Carson at Word. So if they can get 2 out of 3 of those, it's a little momentum builders for them. But after that, they're going to get to the meat and potatoes. So maybe they win 4 or 5 games this year if they're lucky.
Yeah, I think it's possible for sure too. I don't see them as one of the worst teams. They definitely could pull out some out of conference wins, and maybe a couple in the conference. Who knows?
Yeah.
But let's jump over to